The gates. The gates are closed. The gates are closed. Where are we? Why is there no light in this land? No moon, no stars. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing but darkness and mist. Lathander, I offer my life to you. You've saved me. You've kept me safe. You have given me purpose in life. And I beg of you, take us away from this dark realm. And bring us home. Back to Beregost. Back to the temple. So that I may continue serving you. Why are you so far away? Have you abandoned me? Are you punishing me? Was that a wolf? We must hurry. This is Red Moon Role-Playing.
You find yourself staring out into this now open space. For a moment, you find yourselves feeling slightly less claustrophobic after that very tight space of that road and the woods. Beyond these massive walls now directly behind you, you can see the forest immediately continues again, all around. Thick, towering trees whose tops are lost in heavy grey mist, blocking out all light within them but a strange, death greyish hue. The tree trunks are naturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence, now, of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream. The lights you see ahead are in this open space, though, away from these woods. And guess they must be by horse, maybe only 5-10 minutes away. By foot, unfortunately, it might be an hour walk at least.
That looks like a village, no?
It is something like that up ahead, yes. I'm not sure if I would feel more shut in here or out in the woods, but at least the wolves are quiet.
Yes, that is at least something. Well, we need directions, brother. We need to find a way to get back, to understand where we are. I know the area around Beregost, and this is not it. And without knowing where to go, we just get more lost. Let's see what we can find. Are you in agreement?
I start moving without saying much. I start leading the horse towards these, whatever it is, if it's a village, and I mutter, "Brother, I was travelling with a band for a while. There was an ogre among us." Would you believe that? An ogre with a pack of bandits. Anyways, he always liked calling people his brother. Then he would try to eat them. It was pretty funny, that one.
I find myself letting out a laugh in spite of the situation, or perhaps because of it. I assure you, Roshek, I will not attempt to eat you.
I guffaw at this. That was pretty funny, actually. Try not to eat me there.
You begin walking down this road, having this conversation. As you walk towards the left, you start to hear trickling of water, and with your low night vision, and the fact that the illumination has improved a little, beyond those lights of the village, you think to your left, running water. Yes, there is definitely a stream, a river, close by to your left, somewhere off the road. Your laughter goes through the air, disturbing this silence quite effectively. You can't help but notice, though, that the laughter, as it leaves your presence, echoes a little, and the further away it gets from you, the more sinister it becomes. This is not a place that hears laughter often. You are still surrounded by this mist, no longer thick and impossible to see through, now just hanging loosely about you, oppressive, like a shroud. Still, some laughter never hurts, and you are now getting closer. These lights, although as you get much closer, you notice there are not as many as you thought. It seems quite subdued, really. Anyway, what do you do?
Hearing the running water, I get a bit thirsty, so I have some water from my water skin and I hold it over to the priest.
I accept it willingly. The effects of the alcohol is starting to wear off and I am becoming thirsty. I quench my thirst and I hand it back.
I grunt a little and I'm a little bit unsettled by the silence. Just a little bit, I don't know. I'm in a fairly good mood otherwise. Let's see what's beyond over here. I would go down to the water and refill the skin, but I have a feeling we probably shouldn't get off this path now.
Indeed, you feel it would be unwise. Get to this village first, you think. Now these lights start to make some sense. This is indeed a village. The houses become recognizable, village dwellings. Ground beneath you starts to become a little more paved, and you are actually at the village, although it is not a village now that brightly lit. The lights you seem to be seeing come more from within. Houses right next to you are still pitch black, only now illuminated by the glowing light around your pack. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts this silence still, except now. Just a low sobbing coming from somewhere, and a strange sound on the wind. But yes, you are now in a street. Yes, surrounded by tall village houses, and lights coming from down the street, seeming to be maybe coming from a building or two there.
The lights coming from the building there, is it perhaps an inn of some kind, some kind of public building that would be welcoming of travelers such as us?
Indeed it is. 10 minutes down this road, you think, you see the lights are coming from this rather tall building. Perhaps it is indeed an inn. Other lights seem to be coming from one or two of these houses, but you notice now they are quite minimal. Maybe only one light here or there. Most of these houses are in pitch darkness. In fact, looking at them, suddenly you notice even those lights now are going out. Strange. This village is still silent. That sound you heard before has stopped. Now there is just the sound of the wind and your breathing.
That's a bit strange. You think we should get in, knock on some doors? I can't see an inn around here.
No, I believe there is one down the road, perhaps.
I don't know. I don't know this place.
Me neither. Let's go. Let's find a place. If it's just a dwelling, they might not be particularly welcoming of strangers showing up in the middle of the night. Let us find an inn, yeah? Let us find a place that would be welcoming of us.
You continue walking down the street, passing these buildings now by your sides. They all look so old. One or two of them, you notice, have broken windows, smashed, who knows how long ago. Doors boarded up. Some have the windows boarded up, and for a moment you think, if you poked a little, there's some light behind one of them, yes, but again, boarded up windows. Clearly they don't want any visitors. But as you get closer to this main light, you do indeed see a building with doors open and its light spilling out onto what looks like a little square, with a few other bigger buildings around this square-like area. Perhaps the centre of this village. Yes.
I set my sights on the building up ahead, the one with the lights streaming out into the streets. There's something welcoming about that place. Light is really enough. Just getting out of this dreary darkness and mist. Perhaps there's people there. Perhaps there's someone who can show us the way. And I start walking towards it.
You approach that single shaft of light, thrusting illumination onto this main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in a heavy fog. Above the gaping doorway of this building, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood of the Vine Tavern, although you, Roshik, as you come by, Ethel, would squint and notice that someone has crossed out one of the letters. Not the Blood of the Vine Tavern, Blood on the Vine Tavern.
I glance up the sign and I notice that, and I give a little bit of a laughing grunt. Looks like someone has been out vandalizing this place. Might just be my kind of establishment. And I look for a place to tie up the horse.
Looking to the side, you do indeed see a stable, currently occupied by a large wagon with 2 horses attached to it, but there is indeed space for another horse or 2.
I'll go over and start tying it up.
Roman?
I wait for Roshik as he does that, trying to see if I can catch a glimpse of what is inside, waiting for us there. If it is indeed what it looks to be a welcoming light in this darkness, or if it is perhaps a place best steered clearer from.
Well, as you peek in, you see what appears to be a tavern room like any you've seen before. There's a bar directly in front of you. You can tell there are seats and tables nearby. At this point, though, you can't really see anyone other than... a gentleman has just come into view, cleaning an ale glass with a cloth right in front of you. He does not seem to particularly look up or even notice you. He just cleans away at this cup.
I wait for Roshik to finish. Obviously, this is exactly what I was hoping for. This should allow us to ask some questions and perhaps get some shelter.
Roshik, roll me a perception check.
17.
Yes, as you finish up tying the horse and go to join Roman, your eyes just turn up just for a moment to one of these dark buildings, and you see a window with some light. And suddenly it shuts very quickly, as if... Was someone there? Someone was there, maybe watching you, and the second they noticed you looking back, they shut their window tight and you hear a bolt going, tightening up.
Huh. I go over to join the priest and I mutter. Seems like people living here don't appreciate visitors.
I believe you're correct. Let's hope the innkeep is more welcoming, shall we?
I twist my head into some sort of nod and I walk in.
You enter the tavern, and as I said, it is like every other tavern you've ever seen. Dusty, though. Old. The style of the buildings you've noticed is a little strange. It's very, very old-fashioned village style. You know, lately buildings have been taking on a new tone, especially in cities like Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter. Here there's a very simple style. Tall, thatched roofs, wooden walls, that sort of thing. It would be quaint, you suppose, if everything didn't look so old and decrepit, as does this interior, with no real decoration other than tables, a bar. Sitting at a table at the very far end from you now, by, again, another dying fire, seems to be someone with a hood up, drinking to himself. The tavern, keep, appears to be there. A man, balding, maybe in his 40s, 50s. His skin has a very grey pallor to it, almost as if he's been underground a bit too long, if you know what I mean. He doesn't look up as you come in. He simply stares at the cup he is cleaning and continues to clean it. Once, twice, 3 times. He then places that cup down and moves on to another cup. Once, twice, 3 times. He then returns to the first one.
I don't pay much attention to this. I walk into the bar and I look a bit suspiciously at the cloaked man. Could that have been the same person that we met earlier, do I think?
No, his cloak was more thick, leather. This one looks more brown, like a simple travelling cloak for the night, rather than an actual rain cloak like the other gentleman was wearing. Also, at this point, you think you hear a humming somewhere. Maybe from behind a door behind the bar? Quite a jovial humming, actually. It certainly seems out of place.
Something nice about that. I make to walk for the innkeep. I intend to speak to him.
He looks up as you approach and stares at you.
The morning lord's light shine upon you.
He stares at you, his brow furrowing for a moment. You want drink? Or lodging?
Both. And perhaps, before that, may I perhaps inquire as to what this town is? Where are we? We seem to have lost our way. We were traveling near Beregost, but I gather that this is nowhere close to Beregost, is it?
The man nods.
Does this place have a name?
Barovia.
I stand behind the priest, probably towering over him, folding my arms and listening to the conversation, trying to make sense out of it.
Indeed, and the barkeep notices you, gives you the same stare. He's still cleaning that first glass, just wiping away.
I try to use my insight. I try to read him if I can. Try to figure out if he's somehow. What do I get from him? What feeling do I get from this man?
Yes, roll away, please.
And I roll 21.
Yes. What feeling do you get from this man? He seems to not care in the slightest about really anything you're saying. But he can hear you. He can definitely hear you. He is aware that you are here talking to him. He has answered you. But there seems to be nothing in his eyes. You look into his eyes and it just seems dead. Not in the literal sense. Just like there's no emotion there. Nothing in his voice. Nothing he's even doing. It just seems monotonous. So much like you were talking to a chair. He doesn't seem remotely surprised you've entered. He doesn't seem remotely intrigued by what you're saying. He will answer your questions. But he just doesn't seem like there's anything behind those eyes. How very strange. It's a bit unsettling now you really pay attention to it. Very unsettling indeed, especially with his pallor and his sort of sunken features and look.
Yes, but there's no malice that I sense, no ill will towards us, just simply a lack of anything really towards us.
Exactly. Completely nothing. No malice, not even disinterest or rudeness. Just nothing.
Intriguing. And I do not recognize this color of his skin is not. I haven't seen people like that, and
no, it's definitely. He is human.
He is human, but I haven't seen anyone with that complexion in Faerun.
No, other than perhaps. Well, I mean, in the cities once when you went there, people who went to the Underdark for long periods of time, maybe sometimes developed that tan of skin. Lack of sunlight isn't very good for the complexion, is it?
And when he mentions the name of the city or the place, the village we're in, I look at the priest and I ask him, "Now you know where we are?"
No, I have never heard of it. Barovia? What is that? Tell me, good sir, what time is it? It's obviously night, but are we close to the morning? It's been dark for as long as we've been here, and... when is the sun rising?
The figure looks behind you for a moment, squints. He looks confused for a moment at you mention the sun rising. He pauses. Middle of night. Dawn. 6 hours. 7. He shrugs.
I sigh and I say, look, it's been a long night and an even longer day. Perhaps I would just... Could I just have a room?
Yes. 1 silver piece.
And I start rummaging through my pack and I produce a silver piece and hand it over.
He nods, takes the coin, bobs his head upstairs towards some stairs that ascend, and says, "If room is not locked, you take room." He goes back to clean the glass. The figure drinking, you notice now he is drinking at that table, seems to move on to a second large glass of some liquid and starts to down it. He's watching you at the bar. You also hear that humming again from behind the bar. Someone then seems to be... Something drops. You hear a sort of like... Ah! Oh!
I've realized that this conversation with the innkeep isn't exactly producing much insight into the state of things. Perhaps this man by the fire, perhaps he is more forthcoming, more filled with emotion, perhaps.
Perhaps. What do you do?
I walk up to the table where he's sitting, and I try to catch his attention.
He looks up at you, acknowledges your presence, and continues to drink.
How does he look like, aside from the hood?
Underneath the hood, you sense a young man. 20s, long blonde hair, blue eyes. A similar pallor to the man at the bar. But the way he drinks, it's certainly more animated than the gentleman at the bar, so there is that.
Excuse me, sir, You may have noticed that we are not from these parts. I would just like to know a little bit more about this place. Would you perhaps have time to answer a few questions?
He takes a swing from the drink, which you can smell now quite heavily. He's drinking a lot. A wine of some kind. Quite a good smelling wine, actually, and you would know there is a good amount of wine shared, of course, at rituals for Lathander. He pulls back his hood, revealing a head of blonde hair. "I will answer what I can, my friend, but I'm afraid I do not think I can be of much assistance to you. You are obviously not from around here. I am so sorry." And he takes a sip of drink.
What do you mean, sorry? Is there been others like us wandering into this place?
Yes. You come, you go. Outsiders. Yes. I have known a few through my lifetime. I am sorry, my friend, because you are doomed. I wish I could assist you, but I cannot. No. No one can assist any of us.
I was on my way upstairs, stopping briefly, seeing that the priest was moving over to talk to someone, and then listening to that. After a while, hearing this, I come down again and I ask, there was this fellow, this brightly dressed fellow. He came into and he asked us to help him with something. Do you know anything by that description? He had clothes, and I tried to describe him as well as I can.
He shrugs a little. Vistani, I imagine. Always with their tricks. Yes, that would make sense. They do that from time to time. I am sorry, friend. You have been well duped. You are now going to be here forever, until you die. But in your cases, he points to both of you, I'm afraid it probably will be sooner rather than later. I am sorry. Hey, have some drink. He takes a large sip of wine.
Whose lands are these? What do you mean doomed? Surely the lord of this place must want to protect visitors from outside. Welcome guests, no?
The lord of this place. He is the one who has brought you here. He is the one who will be your doom. He is the devil. Yes, the devil himself rules these lands, and now you are here, he will not let you leave. You will die. All die. Hey, soon I will be dead as well. Nothing we can do for poor Barovia. Nothing. Nothing.
Does this devil have a name, good sir?
He frowns a little. Looks around. He does indeed have a name. It would be unwise to speak it here. Maybe somewhere safer. Even where is safe? Nowhere. No, our village of Barovia will soon be no more. I can feel it. And the lands of Barovia will... They have always been lands of war, but sometimes there, you have to believe it, sometimes there is some peace. No, not now, no. My days are numbered. Your days are numbered. Drink!
I stand and I think for a bit what he said. I think about the word. Vistani. Vistani. I recognize that.
You certainly do.
Huh. And I space out for a bit.
Where does your mind go?
I think about the people that we met that day. The colourfully dressed people that now, obviously, it's the same sort as the one that we got tricked by. Maybe there was a reason we had to kill those people after all. I didn't believe it then, but that woman, I wondered, did she actually do something to me? It felt like she did. And I stand there and I think about that for a bit.
Yes, you do. There's certainly some good points to that. And yet there's also very bad points to that. You're clearly wrong.
I'm clearly wrong.
You are clearly wrong. Yes. It occurs to you then.
This isn't... this is nothing to do with that.
No, not at all.
No. No. Obviously not. And then I look at the fellow that we talked to and I start imagining him with an axe in his skull. And I start laughing a bit.
It is an amusing thought. Did you often find amusement in such things when you did that on raids?
I don't particularly find it amusing, but it's lots of fun imagining people with weapons in their heads. It looks funny, because then you think of the expression they would have, when they die. And you could think of things like that they could have their tongue hanging out, and that's funny too.
Yes. Yes, it is. You feel reassured about that sort of thought. Yes, something... Those are good thoughts to have. Wise thoughts, clever thoughts.
Yes,
Roshik.
That's funny.
While you're thinking these thoughts, you then hear some commotion happen behind that bar. A door opens, and a woman comes out. She has long black raven hair flowing from her shoulders, young in her 20s, and her costume and attire are bright and colourful. Scarves of green, scarves of red, a lovely orange scarf sort of halfway across her forehead. She walks over to the barkeep. Arik, my good man, come, time for closing. Final drinks, I will be upstairs. She looks over to the two of you, offers you a very welcoming smile. Two guests, welcome. Yes, you talk to Arik, he will aid you. Yes, good rooms, we have good rooms, yes. And she pats Arik on the shoulder. Arik does not respond at all, and starts making her way upstairs. You notice the man at the table sort of look over and frown at this woman.
Who is she? I ask him.
What? Isabella, owner of this tavern. Vistani. What can you do? No one else sells drink.
I look after her, and I then look at the priest again, and I say, well, I guess you better get a room as well, and I start heading towards the stairs.
I suppose so. I ask the man that we've met in front of the fire, is there a... Friend, do you know, is there a temple to Lathander in these parts? I feel his presence very, very far away. Something is odd. I need to come closer to him.
He frowns at this. I do not know who this Lathander is. The Church of the Morning Lord is on the hill. You will not find any respite there, I am afraid. No, there's been no respite from the priest for a long time. There's no respite for anyone. But wait. He leans forward. You are a priest, you say?
Yes. Yes, I am. A Dawnbringer. A priest of Lathander.
He looks confused at those last two statements and goes, I've not heard those terms, but a priest is a priest. Do you wish to try and... There is no escape from these lands, my friend. You have to know that now, but there might be some safety if you... I need some assistance. Would you be willing to offer assistance?
We could use all the friends we can get in this strange place. We'd certainly be willing to hear you out. At least I would.
This is good, friend. This is good. Yes. I'm sorry. I did not introduce myself. I am Ismark.
Ismark. I am Roman Anchor.
A pleasure, my friend. Yes, I am Ismark, son of the... He pauses. The late burgomaster, Ivan. Do you need to rest now? Maybe we could talk outside. He looks and says loud, like, I am leaving now, woman. I will go. Roshik, you've started heading up the stairs. As you hear him calling up, you hear that woman turn round and just be like, oh, away with you, Ismark the Lesser. Always coming here drinking. She looks towards you, Roshik. All he's good for, eh? Oh, who'd want a son like that?
The rooms are upstairs, yes?
Yes. And she goes off, disappears upstairs.
I hesitate a bit, seeing as the priest is leaving with this fellow, but I don't know. I shrug. I think it might be better to head off in the morning when the sun's out. Or is it? Do I think that? Considering I see pretty well in the dark.
You think to yourself, you're very tired and you should go to bed. You should think about yourself more.
Yeah, I should probably get some rest. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead. Go upstairs and get some rest.
Yes. Downstairs, Roman, Ismark notices your friend going upstairs and goes, oh, very well, maybe in the morning. You will be here in the morning, yes?
Yes, we will be here in the morning. It would be nice to see the sunrise again, to get some light. We've been in the dark for too long.
He frowns at you. My friend, you are not going to see a sunrise ever again. I am sorry.
I stop at this and I look at him with disbelief.
He sighs. Yes, I know. It is the same with all your travellers from the lands you come from. The sun has not risen in Barovia for over 400 years or more. I am sorry.
I just remain quiet. I am dumbfounded. I don't even know what to say. No sun. I have no place here. This is not a place where I can be. This is not a place where I can die. Lathander, where are you?
He is silent. The Ismark comes over and tries to pat your shoulder. He's clearly a little drunk. I know, my friend. All is lost, but no, maybe tomorrow you will help me, and I will help you. I will answer more questions. Yes, you too, you can help us. Yes, I had given up, for there is no one else who would aid us. No one, but you are strangers. You will help us. Good, good. And rest as well as you can. I will be here first thing in the morning. I promise, I promise. And he stumbles up and starts to head out of the tavern, leaving you downstairs with that innkeeper who just stares at you, cleaning his glass.
I arrange a room in much the same way as Roshik did, paying him the silver piece, and I start heading upstairs as well. Perhaps some rest will make things clearer. Yes, things will be clearer in the morning. No, son. No, he was just drunk. It cannot be true. No, it cannot be true. I tell myself, and I enter the first open room that I can find.
Yes, as you both went upstairs, that woman seemed to go to 2 doors and unlock them, offering you 2 rooms. She smiles and walks off. You can't help but notice, by the way, of all the people you've met so far, that woman seems very out of place. She seems normal as this night has been, compared to at least that, well, Ismark and his gloom and that bartender, like she was moving around like a normal innkeeper would. It doesn't really feel quite right, to be honest, but I'm assuming that you two now just retire to your rooms and go to bed?
Is she sort of open to like is she like rushing or is she approachable?
She was rushing, and only in the way that she wanted to get you both to your beds and go down the stairs to her own wherever she sleeps. But I mean, if you tried to stop her, you could.
Yeah, I was gonna look in through the door to the room she's opened for me, and I shrug. This'll do. Start to feel just very tired. It'd be nice to get some sleep, and I look back to the priest and I nod and I say, "Thank you for wheeling my horse. The name is Roshik."
Yes. And I am Roman. I thank you for your assistance. I wouldn't have made it here without you. I wouldn't have gotten past those wolves without you, my friend. I hope that things will be clear in the morning. Perhaps we can still find our way back. I'm guessing you want to get back, right? There are things waiting for you? No?
Well, I certainly don't want to spend the rest of my day in this place. I mean the rest of my days. And I grunt, and then I go inside my room.
And so you do, and what do you do, Roman?
Well, Isabella, if she's approachable, then I will just try to strike up conversation with her, given that she is so out of place here, given that she's so different. Perhaps she will be more forthcoming about our situation and what's going on here, and...
Yes, well, you grab her. She's going down the stairs, and she goes, "Ah, my friend, I am sorry. It is time for sleep now. Come, off to your room. Rest away, eh? Me and my sister, we have things to do, and then we will be going to bed ourselves. But what you look so lost, poor darling. What's wrong?
I understand we are not the only ones who have found ourselves here. Not from this place, you can see that. Yes, we are travelers from I suppose, far away. We need to get out of here. How can we get out of here?
How do you get out of here? My goodness, friend. Oh, such worries for such a handsome young man. Why do you need to get out of here, eh? The town of Barovia, I'll admit, is a little bit droll, but it's got a rustic charm to it, really. No, and Barovia has many nice places to go. You should visit some of them. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time here. Where did you say you were from?
Beregost.
Beregost, yes. Near Baldur's Gate. Yes, yes, I have been to Beregost. A lovely place indeed, yes.
Then you know it. Then you know where we're from. And where is this in relation to that? Because I do not recognize this. We are not... Must be months traveling, or... I don't know, where are we?
Oh, you're in the lands of Barovia, my friend. A very different place indeed. I'm sorry, you are very far away from Beregost.
How does one end up here?
Well, did you travel here with some Vistani, perchance? Some of my kin?
I do recognize your attire, yes. There was a man. We set out to help him, to help a caravan that was being attacked, and to help save the innocents, of course. And then we found ourselves here. He led us astray.
Oh dear, my friend, I think you have been the victim of a little jape. We do it all the time, most fun, yes. Oh, I don't think there was anyone to help. No. But do not worry, it is all good and you are well. Maybe next time you will learn. Careful with us, Vistani. We like to joke. Yes, we do, yes. We are people of laughter and song and japes.
I feel that I should be angry with her, but I can't help but feel some reassurance, some warmth from her laughter, from her ways, different from this darkness surrounding us. And I nod to her and I say, yes, perhaps it is time to rest. Perhaps it is better to think about this in the morning. Yes, with a clearer head.
Certainly. Although she comes closer for a moment and goes, and well, I understand you probably wish to leave the lands, don't you? I understand that. But do not worry, my friend. The Vistani, we will help you. We always help. We trust friends who treat us well. Out of Barovia, in fact, my a camp of ours is near the Seer Pool. Yes, a good camp of good Vistani there. You should go there. You should meet our leader, yes, our prophetess, Madam Eva. Yes, she will be able to guide you, friends. Worry not. Yes, you should go there. That would be a good idea, yes.
I nod, and yes, perhaps I will do that. But more on that in the morning. And
Of course. You rest in the morning. Me and my sister will be making some lovely food. You're welcome to have some. Now rest, my darling. And she reaches forward and quite openly just caresses your face. What do you do to that?
I suppose I don't mind. I haven't felt a woman's touch on my face like that. Not since her, not since Maya. But I shrug it off and I just smile politely and I start retreating back to the room. I try to find some peace there and tell myself that everything will be all right in the morning. Everything will be all right. Yes, the mist will be gone and the way will be clear. Yes, no worries.
And you sleep through the night. As always, you dream the same dreams. No secret meaning behind these dreams, nothing strange there. You've had these dreams before, it's why you drink. You still see them. You know you failed them.
Yes, I failed them. I failed to save them, and I failed to avenge them, and he stopped me. Lathander stopped me. He stopped me from taking vengeance. Perhaps it was for the best, yes. He must have some purpose for me. There must be something I'm meant to do. That is why I'm still here. I remember them, my family. I remember Maya, and I remember Elander, so young, so foolish. I try to think of the good times. I try to bring forth the few happy memories. But the nightmares soon return, and everything is as it always is.
Roshik, you do not sleep totally unwell, but you do have a dream, and do you dream often, would you say?
Not really. Sometimes. I don't pay it much attention.
Well, normally you wouldn't. But something does strike you for a moment. Your dream is troubled. Again. Voices, indistinct, telling you to sleep, telling you to forget about all your troubles, always move on. But then, there seems to just for a moment be something slightly more solid in this, something, someone, and you just hear, yes, you will find your place, Roshik. You will find your place. And then the darkness of sleep returns to you, and you both awaken to be greeted by a wonderful morning, or at least it should be a wonderful morning, but as you both go to open those windows of your rooms, you can definitely see there is light, but it's more the light at the end of a day, the gloom just before true dark descends. It is not pitch black outside, but is as far from a morning. But that seems to be all there is. What do you do?
Some sort of dusk, then.
Yes.
Maybe it has something to do with this place, I don't know. I go over my equipment and I want to check on my sword, thinking that dent was a bad thing. Stupid of me trying to shatter those chains with the sword. And I'll oil it up a bit and see if there's a piece of dry meat in my pack. I think I had one somewhere in there.
Yes, you find some, and it gives you a nice little boost in the morning. Roman, what do you do?
I conduct the morning prayers. I follow the rituals. I say the words. I do what I do every morning. I do what I am supposed to do, what I am meant to do, what a person filling my role in the universe is supposed to do, and I try to find comfort from that. I try to find comfort from the little light there is there, and I tell myself that Lathander is out there. He's just very far away, but I will find him again, and I will find a home again. I need to be close to them, close to where they're buried.
You certainly do, and the rituals give you some comfort as you do feel the flow of energy. The spells are ready. But then at the end, as you finish, silence. It's disconcerting.
It is. It just continues. Oh, I'm uneasy, but I get up and I get ready to leave my room and try to find my traveling companion and perhaps find this Ismark and Isabella, and perhaps we'll be able to figure out what to do next. Some way out of this place. There must be some way.
Yes, and you both descend downstairs to find the barkeep, who doesn't seem to have moved, cleaning that one glass. No, he's onto a third glass now. He also seems to, on a table, have 2 bowls of some sort of greyish broth substance. He nods to you. Breakfast.
Nice. I go down to sit at the table.
I nod and I thank him. Thank you. This looks lovely, I say and smile politely.
He nods. He stares. He cleans the first glass again.
Did you sleep all right?
No. I feel far away from my god. I feel far away from Lathander. Well, I need to get close to him again. I feel weak here. I feel that I am not myself.
I nod a bit dully, having asked the question more as a polite thing rather than being interested in this man's story. But sure. And I start eating the grey broth.
It tastes like grey broth. It's not awful. It's not wonderful. And as you eat, through the door comes Ismark. Yes, it is Ismark. He has his hood down straight away. He comes in urgently, looking around. The light outside, again, this sort of dusk light, but you can, if you did look, you can definitely see like it was the day, at least a little. Though you notice, other than the Ismark coming in, you've still not seen a single soul moving around outside. Maybe there was some movement across the street. Yes, but other than that, no, nothing. And Ismark comes in, and he comes over to the table. Yes, good. You are here. Excellent. You can aid us. Yes, he looks to you, Roshik, and goes, I promise. If you aid me in this favor, I will do everything I can to give you more information and help you. I promise. On my house.
What do you mean? Do you mean you'll be able to get us out of this place?
He frowns. No, but maybe I can give you gold or possessions or where we will go. Someone might be able to help you there. Yes, they in Valakai they have more than us. Yes, they might be able to help you. Yes, that could work.
I put down my spoon and I say, we came through some sort of forest and then went through a pair of big gates and they closed behind us with some chain rattling to place. Then I thought I heard someone laughing, I'm not sure, but surely this must be some sort of, I don't know, spell or some magic thing that you can, well, as someone can dispel.
Yes, they are the devil's gates. It was probably the devil you heard laughing. He has brought you here, and he controls those gates.
So if we kill the devil, do you think we can get out again?
He blinks a little, and he starts to laugh. Yes, friend, yes, if you kill the devil, you could do whatever you want, my friend. Kill the devil, oh. Yes, I can assure you, if you kill the devil, I am sure you could do whatever you want in our lands, as could maybe all of us.
Yeah, alright, so that's what we do then.
I look at Roshik as he says that, and I just look at him and I just nod. Yes. You mentioned you needed help. You mentioned Valakai?
The devil has claimed my sister. He comes for her. He will be here soon. He pauses. This isn't something that is it is a problem here, but normally people are taken straight away, easily. I don't actually know why he hasn't just taken her properly. Instead, he has been tormenting us for the last month or so. It is why my father is now dead. It is why so many of our guardsmen are gone. But I know the tormenting will end soon, and he will come for her. I can do nothing to stop him, but Valakai. They say in the town of Valakai they have protection, that they have ways of dealing with the devil. They always have had this, I think. And possibly my sister will be safe there. Possibly. It's the only hope I have, and if we can just convince her to come, we can go to this Valakai, and she might be safe. Maybe something can happen. There's nothing else I can do.
So we shall convince her to come to Valakai then, to come to safety, and we shall help you be safe during the journey. That is what you wish of us, yes?
Yes, exactly, my friends. By myself, we have a wagon, but it's too dangerous, the roads. Even during the day, there are dangers, and at night, the wolves, beasts, other things. People do not travel. I have never been to Valakai. No one really goes apart from the Vastani, and occasionally a brave wagon supplies, but we have none of those things now, no. No, the only hope was if I have help, and no one in this village, no one. He looks around, he looks at the barman. No one will help us. I do not blame them. They have lost hope. There is none in these lands. But if you help us, we could get to Valakai, and then maybe, in Valakai, maybe they know things. Maybe someone there can help you.
I finish the broth, and I push away the bowl and smack my lips. All right, so we help you out, and maybe you can help us. See wherever that leads.
Exactly. Thank you, my friends. I am sorry to put this burden on you, but I put it to you like this. The devil will come for you, whether you want it or not. But this way, maybe you have a chance. We have a chance, yes?
I shrug.
I nod, and I find some solace in having this mission, this objective, this something, just some chance of perhaps getting back. It's a slim lead at best, but this man does seem to be in need of assistance, and if I can do anything for him and for his sister, then Lathander demands that I do that. So I will do that.
Indeed. Although for a moment, Roshek, it's very brief, but just for a moment, a thought comes to your head. Leave them. Look to yourself. You'll be fine. But it's gone very quickly, and that confuses you a little, because I don't think that's what you were thinking.
It's just someone else, like, almost were thinking it for me.
Yes.
And I grimace a bit and shake my head.
Yes, and it's gone. It's gone. If anything, why would you do that? That would be untactical and unwise. Better travel in a band than by yourself.
Yeah, usually better.
So, you agree you will come? I will guide you to our mansion, what remains of it, and yes, you will need to convince her, though she doesn't think there's any point in trying to run. She thinks that her fate is inevitable. I'm trying to give her hope, but I can't.
Well, let's just, I don't know, if she refuses, why can't we just take her along?
Yes. He winces a little at this, but then he goes, yes, no, for her own good. Yes, if you are willing to do that, I will help you. She needs to be convinced. But we will convince her. We will. Come, friends, come. And he gets up, dusts himself off, and starts heading towards the exit. What do you do?
I start to follow, and I say, yes, we will convince her. Certainly, we will convince her. She must see that it is for her own good. And I have my pack with me with all the things. The room is empty, so I'm ready to go.
I basically have everything with me already. Didn't expect to stay here anyway, and I intend to go out and see to my horse.
Yes, you go and see to your horse, and he's fine. You notice the wagon has gone. The wagon that was there last night.
Well, I untie the horse and go out to meet with the others.
Indeed. Ismark leads you leading the horse as well, up through the town. You pass through the town square, seeing for a moment there is actually another building that seems to have some activity. A shop of some kind. Yes, there's a window display of various goods. It seems open. But Ismark leads you past this shop and up onto the hill. It takes about 5 minutes to get to this part of the village, and you see before you a weary-looking mansion squatting behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate is cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself, yet against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path leading to the doors. As you get closer, roll me perception checks, please.
8.
And Roshik?
13.
Roman, you have your attention focused on Ismark, and you're just taking in the sights. Roshik, though, you start to look around, and you notice, yes, tracks. Beast tracks, mixed in the mud and the ground. Claw marks on the windows. Fire scorches. This house has been assaulted multiple times. By beasts? By fire? You're not quite sure which is which, but yes, there's definitely signs of assault on this house. And as you come to the main doors, you see an old brass knocker. Again, walking up to the house, by the way, this village seems as quiet as a grave.
I blurt out, "Who is trying to attack you?"
I told you. The devil. For nights and nights on end, he sent his minions, his beasts, his worse than beasts.
Is it wolves?
Of course, wolves. And worse. Night after night. For months now.
We met with some strange wolves on the way here. They were acting like they were, possessed almost. Like someone kept goading them on because they wouldn't stop attacking us, even though I basically sliced the leg of one of them.
As I have said to you, and I will say again, I do not blame you for me needing to repeat it, for you strangers are slow to understand. These lands are the devil's. The woods are his. The beasts are his. The sky is his. Everything is his. Even us. To a point, I suppose.
Well, shall we?
Yes. He knocks on the door. He then remarks again, I know what you're thinking. Why has he kept it up? He enjoys torment, you see, though I admit I don't understand why he hasn't just taken her. We could do nothing, you see. My father is gone because he could no longer take the stress. He was the burgomaster of our town. I, as Mark the Lesser, am now the new burgomaster. Isn't that funny?
What does that mean, the burgomaster?
Is that like a mayor, I ask?
Yes, in Barovia, the towns are ruled by the burgomasters. I again forget this is a word you strangers are not familiar with. And he knocks on the door again, and you hear a voice from inside. Who is it? Sister, it's me, Ismark. I bring help. There's a pause, and the door slowly opens. Before you stands a young woman in her 20s, her hair dark brown, her eyes grey, similar to the man before you, Ismark's. She's wearing a tattered dress, although once it was perhaps quite a nice dress, quite well embroidered, very ornate. Maybe age has not done it well. She also is carrying by her side a sword, and also seems to have a bit of a breastplate on. Both of them look a little unpolished, though. Who are these people, Ismark? Who have you brought to our home? I have brought friends, sister, friends. See, this is my sister. This is Irina Berkovich.
I cross my arms, look at her, and I grunt. Nothing more.
Light be with you, sister. My name is Roman Ancor. I am a Dawnbringer of Lathander. We were told that we may be of some assistance to perhaps save you from, well, a grisly fate, as it seems.
She frowns a little and bids you to enter, and you do, and you enter the entranceway to this mansion. It is not a bad mansion at all. Once, you feel, it would have been quite pleasant, in a way, grand, powerful. Now there is just the hint of decay in the air, the smell of death, and yes, perhaps something burning once. Ashes. It's cold inside, a few torches are lit, but otherwise it seems abandoned and dirty and covered in dust. I am afraid my brother has misled you. You cannot help us. You will die. Please, Ismark, let them go. They do not deserve this fate.
But surely, sister, you cannot just accept that fate. You must fight it. Yes, I see you are fighting it. We are prepared to fight it with you. Prepared to try to get you to safety. I try to persuade her.
Roll me a persuasion check.
21. Yes, there is a way out of every situation. There is always light, you see. Even here, where the light is dim, there is still light. There is hope. And where there is hope, there is a way. And we will find that way. Together. And together we will get out of this. Yes.
And I raise a finger. And we will kill the devil.
And I find myself nodding with that, just like, yes, we will kill the devil.
She looks at you with sad eyes. She seems to soften a little at your words. But there seems to be something that just is very upset about her. She comes over to you. You are a priest, yes?
Yes. A Dawnbringer. The Morning Lord Lathander.
She looked confused and goes, yes, of the Morning Lord, but what is this word Lathander? I do not understand.
What is the Morning Lord known as in these lands? Does he have a name outside of Morning Lord?
No, he is the Morning Lord, the counterpart to the Night Mother. Both have abandoned these lands, though. It is our fault.
I see. You must not blame yourself. The ways of the gods are sometimes difficult to understand, and I feel he is distant. But where I came from, he is very close. He is a loving god, and perhaps one day he will come back. But we cannot wait. We cannot wait for him. We must get you to safety. We must get you away from this fate that is otherwise waiting you.
She rubs at her neck, which, by the way, you now notice is covered with a nice black silken scarf. And she sort of rubs a little. Your words are comforting, priest, and I can see perhaps my brother chose some good people. Although, she kind of looks at you, Roshik, a little uncertain as she says that. And then she remarks, but the problem is this, I do not doubt that maybe you can get me to Valakai, but I don't believe my brother is I do not believe in his self-assurance. Do you know of Valakai? What do they offer that we do not? I do not see how I'll be safer there. I wish to fight. Of course I wish to fight. I will die before he claims me. I just don't see what we can do. Kill the devil? She looks to you. How will you kill the devil, where hundreds have tried and failed, for hundreds of years?
I nod and I just pat my long sword on the side.
She looks hesitant for a moment, and then looks back to you, Roman. Very well. We shall go, but we must attend to one thing first. I have said this to Ismark multiple times, and Ismark, I will not budge on that, but if we do it, we will go. And Ismark goes, yes, yes, of course, sister, yes, of course. My father will be buried at the church. He deserves his last rites.
Your father is not buried yet. Oh, but that is not something that can stand. We must, of course, bury him, yes.
You will be willing to help us take him to the church? Ismark at this point pipes up. He's in there, and he points to sort of a side room. You have to understand, it's not that we haven't wanted to bury him, but no one has been willing to help us take him. And, well, no one's gone to the church for months. Months now.
Why don't you just carry him over there yourself?
I do not know. His body is heavy, too heavy for Irina to carry, and by myself. All three of us will be able to do it, I'm sure, but... And, well, I don't know. I suppose when I bury him, I will have to accept my father is dead. Yes, Ismark, you will, but it is important.
Well, I suppose we could make some sorts of makeshift, I don't know, something to put him on and put to the horse if you have to.
Yes, a good idea. And he guides you into this ornate living room with plush sofas, old portraits on the walls. And yes, reclining almost peacefully on a bench is a dead man, thick of beard, arms crossed on his sides, 2 black stones placed upon his eyes.
Black stones? I walk over and I move to lift one of the stones to look at it.
It's just a simple stone.
And I put it back again.
Do I recognize that that form of treating the dead with the black stones? Is that something that my religion, perhaps?
Yes, roll religion.
Let's see. 16.
16. It's clearly something to do with respect for the dead, passing things over people's eyes. A few religions, a few of the gods have ways like that, but it's quite rustic. It's almost more superstitious than actually founded in any dogma. Very old-fashioned. How strange, but yes, clearly they've been placed there to respect his corpse.
Nothing like this in the faith of Lathander. Nothing like that in the old ways. I mean, the religion must have evolved over the years. Surely, is this perhaps some old form of worshipping of Lathander?
It could be, but as you said, you're not the biggest expert on history. You focused your studies on more recent things. But possibly, that does seem logical, doesn't it?
Yes, it must be that way. It must be that. Surely, yes, they have been worshipping Lathander here, and Lathander has taken his leave from these lands, and when he comes back, everything will be as they should again. And yes, let's move him. Let's get this ceremony done. He deserves rest.
I have a look at him and I just say, is he really big and fat, or do you think I could carry him?
You are pretty strong. To be honest, you think you could carry him yourself, although it will obviously be a little unceremonious as you slump him over your back.
I take this into consideration for a bit, and then I just look over casually to the siblings and I ask, would you like me to carry him?
Irina looks a little hesitant, but Ismark nods vigorously. Yes, no, please, yes. You are a strong individual. You will help, and I will. He also, you notice, has now gone off to equip himself with a basic sword as well. We'll go to the church, we will sort this out, and then, he says to Irina, we'll get the wagon. They have an extra horse, we can use it to replace the one we lost. We will all leave and head for Valakai on the old Slavic road. It will be dangerous, my friends, but together we will reach Valakai, I am sure of it.
I assume they're all a bit shorter than my 7 feet 1 inch. So yeah, I probably have to bow a little bit as I pass through doors and everything. I bend down and try to pick up the man as carefully as I can. And hold him like in my 2 arms. Not really slumped over the shoulders, more like holding him in my arms.
And you successfully picking him up. You are a strong man, he is just one body. So...
Which way?
Ismark starts to lead the way, Irina following, and they leave the house and motion for you to follow, do you?
Yeah, and I ask Roman, would you take my horse?
Yes, certainly. Certainly.
Excellent, and they lead the way back through the town. Again, quiet, silence, although you notice this time, quite obviously, a few shutters are opening, a few people are peeking out of houses as you take this body down the street. A procession, if you will. Ismark and Irina at the front, and you two behind them and the horse. You are definitely being watched. People are watching you fearfully. At one point, you suddenly notice a large flock of ravens descend from one of the houses and just fly off. Ismark looks up and nods. Ravens. They carry the souls of the dead, you know. They are a good sign, a good sign. Never harm a raven, friends. But there's something important here in Barovia.
I look after them for a while, and just continue walking.
And finally, he starts to lead you up onto a hill that just sort of stands out of the village proper. And as you approach the church, atop a slight rise, stands a grey, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises from the back, and some light seems to come from the windows. You suddenly hear something. A low moan of misery and despair. A cry. A moan. And then an ear-piercing screech. Scream. Coming from within the church.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Curse of Strahd for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Curse of Strahd was designed by Christopher Perkins and based on the adventure Ravenloft, written by Tracy and Laura Hickman in 1983. Dungeons & Dragons is published by Wizards of the Coast. The music is created by Metatron Omega, Flowers for Body Snatchers and Word Clock, and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more tasty dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us feedback, comments and input there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a huge thank you to our growing base of supporters. You are truly amazing and inspire us so much to keep going with the show. If you haven't yet found us on Patreon, please have a look at the links in the description and see if you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work with the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters have access to extra material such as our bonus Q&A podcast Ask for the Moon, where we discuss all topics and questions our Patreons have for us. You can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thank you for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.